Today, I'm going to teach you how to build a jazz improvised solo. Okay, improvising a solo is not just playing the right notes and putting licks in. You have to build your solo to a point, to a climax. It has to tell a story, it has to express your emotions. The way to do that is to build it to a climax. So I'm going to tell you where you should climax your solos. It's all related to a very, simple mathematical formula. If you're mathematically challenged, maybe not. But anyone who's had high school math should know what I'm talking about. At the end of this video, I'll show you a shortcut, an easier way to find where you should climax your solo. Okay. Now, the first thing, of course, you need to know how to create tension in your solos. That's what you need to create tension. My previous videos all talk about ideas, how to create tension using ideas, like such things as your theme and variation, playing outside the chord changes, repetition, dynamics, quoting, leaving space in your solos, all create tension. Now, if you want to learn about this, subscribe to my channel and watch those videos, and you'll get some ideas on how to create tension. Because if you don't create tension, you know what happens to your solos? They become boring, and you put your audience to sleep. If you just play a bunch of notes over blah, 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 even though they might be the right notes for the chords and everything, it's boring. You have to build it up. You have to build up your soul to a point and then resolve. Now, if you're playing more than one chorus, usually in big bands you only get one chorus, so you just build and fall off. Smaller groups, you can play more freely, more choruses. The whole solo also needs to climax. Each chorus could have a climax. Now, for the math is universal. Music is mathematical. Time signatures, rhythm, harmonic series is all based on math. The one series of numbers that's used throughout nature is called the Fibonacci number sequence. 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. That's where you add the number before. 13. Does it sound familiar? 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. Those are the basic chords. Now, this is also used in art, in nature. All nature is built on Fibonacci sequence. The spiral of a seashell going around is Fibonacci sequence. Leonardo da Vinci used the Fibonacci sequence in his artwork. Why did he use this? Because he knew that it gets your attention. The very famous Mona Lisa. Why does she always look like she's looking at you? Why? Because of the Fibonacci sequence. Because of something else, a mathematical formula. Now I'm going to tell you the mathematical formula. They all use this. All the great composers. And there's even the musical organization in the university is called Phi Mu Alpha. Phi. What is phi? It's a Greek letter, but it's very important in music. As you know, pi, to measure the circumference of circles, is a very important number very important in all math. The inverse of pi is called phi, and phi value is 61.8%. That is the magic percentage, 61.8%. This is where everything should climax, 61.8% in your compositions. Bach did this, maybe unintentionally. Mozart knew about this and did it intentionally in his solos. Bela Bartok created whole compositions based around phi. I have I'm not related to Bartok, but one of my professors in college was a Bartok student. Talked a lot about Bartok. Now, as far as in your solo, where should the peak be? Easy to figure out. Just multiply by 0.618. That gives you, so you figure out how many seconds your solo is or composition, multiply by 0.618, and that gives you that. Of course, when you're playing a solo, it's a little bit difficult. You don't know. So it's, you can take a calculator and do it. Okay. That's where the peak should be. Of course, that's not easy to do. When you're improvising. You're not thinking about that. But you can get the sense of where that is. I'll give you a visual sense here on my high-tech instrument of playing. Say you're going to play 4 choruses. Let's divide this up. 1 chorus, 2 chorus, 3 chorus, 4 choruses. There's your 4 choruses. Now, you want to build each chorus up. I'll show you this in a second. Up, up, and up. It should look something like this. Is the level of where your climaxes are. Now, easy way to figure this out is something, as you know, 61.8% is about 1/3. That is what artists, photographers, everybody calls the law of threes, the law of thirds. That's why if you take the Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa and you divide it up in thirds this way and thirds this way, 1/3 comes, the line through thirds up is in line with their eyes. That's why when you go to the art exhibits and you see paintings and the eyes seem to follow you, that's why. It's the law of threes. And if you take a photography course, you talk about thirds. Divide everything up in threes. The same with music. I'll show you. If you divide each chorus up into thirds, I'm writing now. 2/3, where the X's are. Look at this. That's your law of threes. That's where you should climax each one. And overall, if you divide the solo up overall, the thirds, that third chorus, you should make your climax the most interesting, the most what am I trying to say? Tension. Did you get the tension? Tension. That's where you should build up your solo. Build it up and then off. You can see our little line there. If you don't get it, you should get it. It's pretty obvious. Now, of course, you can't just do that. You can analyze your own solos, record them, but you need to get a sense of where this is. The great improvisers all have a sense. They all know how to build up a solo. Why do you do this? Because it creates tension throughout your solo, and you want people to listen to your solo. You don't want people to start playing games on their phones while you're playing a solo. You don't want your solos to be boring. And that's a problem with a lot of jazz today. It's smooth jazz. It's just boring. And I don't like it. So start practicing today. Please like and subscribe. I will try and play some more examples. I've been working on my chops. I will play you some examples of my improvisation. So, just the law of threes, 2/3. Simple, easy. Why didn't I just say that at the beginning? Because I want to explain how. I want to explain why this is so important when you're playing solos. Till next time, ciao.